Bruce Ivins, the Anthrax murders. The 2001 Anthrax attacks were the first example of bioterrorism in modern times, perpetrated by Bruce Edwards Ivins as part of a terrifying plot that ended up in quite a few murders using a weaponized version of anthrax. Also known as Amerithrax from its FBI case name, the 2001 Anthrax attacks began on September 18, 2001, 1 week after the September 11th terrorist attacks. It consisted of many letters that contained anthrax spores being mailed to several news media offices and to Democratic Senators Tom Daschle and Patrick Leahy, killing 5 people and infecting 17 others. Considering the people targeted by them, the proceeding investigation became one of the largest and most complex in the history of law enforcement, with one of the early focuses of the investigation being bioweapons expert Stephen Hatfill, who was later exonerated, and Bruce Edwards Ivins. Ivins was a scientist at the government's biodefense lab, right at Fort Detrick in Frederick, Maryland, who also became a focus around April 4, 2005. Ivins was placed under periodic surveillance, and an FBI document stated that he was an extremely sensitive suspect in the 2001 anthrax attacks. Though just 1 year later, Ivins died by suicide with an overdose of acetaminophen. Due to all the anthrax that was found in a peculiar vial in his lab, Ivins has been linked as the sole culprit of it. The attacks followed a week after the September 11th attacks, which had caused the destruction of the World Trade Center in New York City. The anthrax attacks came in 2 waves, with the first set of letters having a Trenton, New Jersey postmark dated September 18, 2001. 5 letters were mailed to ABC News, CBS News, NBC News, and the New York Post, and to the National Enquirer in Boca Raton, Florida. Robert Stevens, one of the victims, died on October 5, 2001, 4 days after entering a Florida hospital with an illness that caused him to vomit and be short of breath. Only the New York Post and the NBC newsletters were found, however, with the existence of the other 3 being inferred. Because individuals at ABC, AMI, and CBS became infected with anthrax. 2 more anthrax letters bearing the same Trenton postmark were dated October 9th, 3 weeks after the first mailing. The letters were addressed to 2 Democratic senators, Tom Daschle of South Dakota and Patrick Leahy of Vermont. Daschle was the Senate Majority Leader, and Leahy was the head of the Senate Judiciary Committee. However, this letter had been misdirected to the State Department mail annex in Virginia because of a wrong zip code, which led to a postal worker contracting inhalational anthrax due to it. The material in the Senate letters was a highly refined dry powder that consisted of 1 gram of nearly pure spores, resulting in 22 people developing anthrax infections, 11 of whom contracted the life-threatening inhalational variety. 5 people died of inhalational anthrax: Stevens, 2 employees of the Brentwood Mail Facility, and 2 whose source of exposure to this terrifying bacteria is still unknown, Kathy Nguyen and Ottilie Lundgren. The 94-year-old widow of a judge from Oxford. Investigators found anthrax spores in a city street mailbox located at 10 Nassau Street near the Princeton University campus after testing roughly 600 mailboxes, which could have been used to mail the letters. So, why did Ivins do it? Bruce Ivins had worked for 18 years at the government's biodefense labs at Fort Detrick, being one of the best biodefense researchers there. He was apparently scared that the FBI was about to press charges against him, though there wasn't actually enough evidence for that. Ivins' death left 2 unanswered questions. Scientists familiar with germ warfare said that there was no evidence that he had the skills to turn anthrax into an inhalable powder, so could have someone else been involved in this murder? Ivins was hounded by FBI agents who raided his home twice, and during that time he was hospitalized during that time. Once it was found that the only manager of the anthrax spores used in the attack was Ivins, despite experts claiming that it was impossible that he had the skills to perform this feat, the case was laid out to the public. Ivins had also mentioned to a mental health counselor that he was interested in a woman whom he saw play in a soccer match and planned to poison her if she lost. His counselor said that Ivins was a skillful scientist, able to do things without people finding out, and was alarmed by his emotionless description of a specific, homicidal plan that she had alerted the head of her clinic. In 2008, Ivins told a different therapist that he planned to kill his coworkers and go out in a blaze of glory. Sounds like a psychopath to me. What do you think? Let us know in the comments what you think of Bruce Ivins, and also make sure to leave us a like, share this video with your friends, and also subscribe to our channel for more videos like today.